Right, thanks for the introduction there, Grant. My name's Jonathan, and I'm really excited to talk to you today about Cami and the big opportunities that we have for young technology professionals. So I've been part of the Cami team for the last couple of years, and over that time, it's been a period of amazing growth. And we have some big plans of what's going to come next, and there are amazing opportunities for new people to join. So just to kick things off, I'd like to show a brief video just to give you an idea of what Cami can do for educators and students.
Every day, teachers do incredible things, but juggling excellent teaching with managing assignments, tech troubles, and catering to every student's individual needs can become overwhelming. So we wondered how we could help. What if we could reimagine the digital learning environment by providing you with an all-in-one tool that unlocks potential, ignites creativity, and nurtures collaboration? Welcome to Cami. Upload any learning resource into Cami and share it with your students to create an interactive canvas ready for expression, analysis, and discussion. Cami fully integrates the programs you already use to power a seamless assignment management workflow, allowing you to create, assign, give feedback, grade, and whiteboard all within Cami. Empower students at every level with powerful and versatile tools to complete work their way, unlocking potential at every stage of their learning journey. Watch your students progress and provide feedback and encouragement at any time to drive engagement and improve learning outcomes. In class, remote, or a bit of both, online or offline, Cami will keep you teaching and learning wherever you may be. And as an all-in-one tool, you can spend less time learning a million new ones and more time with your students. Join millions of educators and transform your classroom today.
All right, so I hope that's given you a little bit of an idea of what Cami does and what we offer. So let's start by taking a step back and talking about where Cami came from. Cami actually started as a university project back in 2013 here in Auckland. Our co-founders saw the need for a tool that would enable rich web-based document collaboration, and so Cami was born. All of these co-founders still work at Cami today and are continuing to drive the direction of our business. We're really lucky that both our CEO and CTO have engineering backgrounds themselves, and they really know the value of investing in quality technology and people. As Cami gained traction over the initial years, we found that teachers were actually our biggest champions. They were the ones who evangelized Cami on our behalf and were the most committed and engaged users. So back in 2017, the company pivoted entirely into the education market, having previously been a more general purpose offering, and we really haven't looked back since. So globally, there are around 1.5 billion students, and the US represents the biggest single education technology market, which is where Cami has been focused for the past 5 years. Teachers still spend a lot of money on printing. Around $8 billion annually is spent in the US, and Cami aims to reduce this significantly. In the pre-COVID times, Cami was seeing steady growth as one-to-one devices became more common. So this is where classrooms and teachers have a Chromebook each. So each student has their own device and they're not having to share devices with anyone else. But the digital transformation wasn't progressing as fast as we would like. Then, as we all know, COVID hit in 2020. Almost overnight, this pushed millions of new teachers and students into a digital classroom environment. And Cami was positioned as the easiest way for this to happen quickly. We estimate around 5 to 10 years of existing market trends and growth got brought forward, and this was a massive challenge for us at the time. In response to the needs of COVID-19, we actually made Cami free for everyone worldwide, including all of our paid features. This was a pretty nerve-wracking time for the business as we had massive increases in usage, but not yet in revenue. But then as people saw the ongoing long-term value Cami provides them, the revenue caught up pretty quickly. So if we fast forward today, Cami has staked a claim as a crucial part of the digital classroom. Where teachers would previously have a piece of paper or curriculum, like a page out of a book or a newspaper article, instead of printing it out for kids to work on, they now use Cami to do it all digitally. We now have over 33 million users from over 160 countries, and we have paying customers from over 65 countries now. We do all this with around 80 staff and have plans to roughly double that again over the next 12 months as we have big plans for the future. So along the way, we've picked up several awards. One of those was the Deloitte Fast 50 back in 2021, where Kami was the fastest growing business in New Zealand, achieving over 1,100% revenue growth during the previous 3 years. And then in 2022, Kami was named in Time's top 100 most influential companies. And we're really proud of these achievements as we represent a New Zealand company doing amazing things on the global stage. So what's next for Kami? As mentioned earlier, we're continuing to push for Kami to be the first tool that you reach for in the digital classroom environment. We've scaled up our team significantly over the past 6 months, and we plan to double again over the next year or so in order to keep building the future of education. We're aiming for 100 million users, and we have big ideas for new products and markets in order to get there. And this will provide lots of opportunities for new graduates and interns to build a fast-growing company. Underpinning all of this is the Kami philosophy. This is something that has been a part of Kami from day one, and it's the culture that we maintain in the team. We believe that every team member deserves a voice, respect, and trust, and we embrace diversity, ownership, and most importantly, collaboration. Product-led growth has always been a part of Kami. Kami grew organically by building amazing products that teachers can't help but want to use and promote to others. Larger Kami customers often come from schools or districts where a few teachers decide to start using Kami, and it snowballs to become a critical part of their digital classroom. We're so committed to the success of our products with our customer first mentality that our CEO, Henji Wang, still heads up the customer success team here at Kami. And this just shows the level of commitment that we have to ensuring our customers have a great experience with Kami. Across the company, we maintain close contact with our customers. It's very common for engineers to work directly with teachers and students that are making use of parts of the platform that they've built. And as we continue to expand, it's very important for us to maintain these values that have served us so well to this point. And figuring out whether candidates will be a good fit for how we work here at Kami forms a really important part of our recruitment process. All right, I can take a brief break for any questions at the moment, if there's been any popped up, Grant.
There's just been one, great timing. There's just been one that's popped through, Jonathan. Does Kami have an office in Wellington?
At the moment, Kami's office is in Auckland, in Parnell. We don't currently have an office in Wellington, no. We do have a number of team members who work remotely, so I think we do have someone in Wellington at the moment. We've got people in Dunedin and up in the north of the country as well.
And just a quick reminder, there's a couple of students that are raising hands in the audience. We don't have the ability to take you off mute within this session. However, feel free to pop your questions in the chat and we'll get Jonathan to answer them.
Perfect, thanks, Grant. Okay, so now let's move on and talk a little bit about the technology at Kami that we are using to build the future of education. Kami knows how critical it is to strive for excellence in our engineering processes in order to be able to deliver the quality of product that our teachers and students need. So when you're an engineer at Kami, we have a lot that we offer that we think is quite unique. Here are just a few headlines that we'll dive into more deeply on the next slides. So at Kami, you'll have an immediate global impact right here from New Zealand. Your work quickly gets into the hands of teachers and students. You'll have direct contact with our customers and the teachers who are using what you've built. Along with that, you'll gain experience working with software systems that run at a very large scale, which itself presents unique challenges. You'll be part of an engineering culture that we're proud of and we want to share with our new interns and graduates. Continual self-improvement as an engineer will be a key part of your role at Kami. And to support and enable that, you'll be working directly with senior engineers to ensure that you'll be successful. So looking in more detail at the impact that you'll have at Kami, as an engineer, your work will go directly into the hands of millions of teachers and students worldwide. And that's not something you'll find very easily elsewhere. Our engineers aim to get our updates out into the hands of our teachers very quickly. At Kami, we release our software regularly, often multiple times per day, and anyone on the engineering team can request a new release to be made. We make this possible by leveraging tools like Google Kubernetes Engine alongside automated testing and review from senior colleagues. So we aim to remove as many barriers as possible so our engineers can make a big impact. As part of the Cami culture that I mentioned earlier, everyone talks to our customers, including most people from our engineering team. So this could be for reasons of gathering new requirements about product features or troubleshooting live with a teacher who could be based almost anywhere in the world. You'll spend the first couple of weeks at Cami with the customer success team, which will give you the grounding in our product and culture that you'll need to be an effective engineer. We aim to cut out the middleman as much as possible, giving you an engineer more direct contact with the people using your products, allowing you to build to a higher quality standard. As I mentioned earlier, at Cami, we believe in product-led growth. And to achieve this, we need to have a solid understanding of exactly what our teachers need. Not everyone at Cami will have experience working in a digital classroom, so you'll find it invaluable to have contact with teachers who are at the coalface right now. Cami has to reliably support our now 33 million users, and this presents a number of unique challenges. This will give you an opportunity to work with a web application running at a large scale right here from New Zealand. For example, we regularly see these sort of numbers on our platform. So over 25,000 API requests a second, scaling up to over 3,000 CPU cores and 11 terabytes of memory using Google Kubernetes Engine. And we also see well over 100,000 database queries per second at peak load. We're also the largest global user of the Google Classroom API. And in this position, it allows us to have some influence with Google in terms of how these APIs develop over time and how they could work better for Cami. We're continuously evolving our tech stack in order to make sure that we're attractive in terms of what we offer for new team members. You'll be working with modern browsers and the newest APIs that are available in those browsers. There are opportunities to work on the Google Chrome and Microsoft Edge browser extensions, which have over 20 million users themselves. We use modern technologies like TypeScript and React in order to build Cami. And on the back end, you'll find a well-architected Ruby on Rails API that leverages other tools like Rust, where we need higher performance in certain areas. We are big Google Cloud users here at Cami, and we were early adopters of the Google Kubernetes engine, which now powers most of Cami's cloud services. Back in 2020, when we needed to handle a sudden increase in load due to the pandemic, we introduced a new cloud-native database called CockroachDB. This has improved our reliability significantly and allowed us to continue scaling the platform. I'd encourage you to Google Cami and CockroachDB, and you'll find a really interesting case study that we did with them back last year. So there's a lot more than this going on at Cami, but I hope that gives you a taste for the sort of tools you'll be using as an engineer. And underpinning everything that we do in engineering at Cami is the Cami culture that we talked about earlier. We all have the same goal of trying to make sure that Cami is as good as possible. And part of doing this involves always being open to feedback from our peers and looking for opportunities where we can upskill. Cami is an education business, so of course we encourage our own engineers to continue their learning journey while they're at Cami. We try to provide work that is interesting and really relevant to our team members. So for example, if you're interested in a certain aspect of our technology platform, we'll try and accommodate that by giving you work in that specific area so that you can continue your career development. So if we look specifically at what Cami can offer for new graduates and interns. So Cami will provide a supported environment for you to build your skills surrounded by senior colleagues. You'll be given regular feedback on how you're doing at Cami and what opportunities there are for improvement. We will aim to be the sort of work experience you're seeking, whether that might be cloud infrastructure or other aspects of programming. And being part of a fast-growing company like Cami will offer many opportunities for career progression. So what do we look for when we're trying to hire new people for the Cami team? Well, basically, we're just looking for exceptional people, but we're looking for exceptional people who fit in well with our Cami culture. This means things like being a great team player, being able to receive feedback well from colleagues and give feedback too, and a desire to continuously improve your own skills. And of course, knowing how to celebrate, which is something we do pretty well here at Cami. Cami's proud of the diverse and inclusive team that we've built here, and we know that including people from all different backgrounds helps us to build products that cater to a wider audience. Communication skills, both written and verbal, are really important. It doesn't actually matter how skilled you are technically unless you're able to communicate effectively and clearly with the wider team. And of course, your technical ability forms a key part too. But for interns and graduates, this is only one piece of the hiring decision. And Cami will look more at your fit within the team and how we think you have, and what growth potential we think you have during your time here at Cami. All right, so let's now move to a short discussion with one of our interns, Danielle Print. Thanks for taking the time to join us today, Danielle. Danielle joined Cami as an intern late last year, and we've been lucky to keep her on the Cami team part-time as she finishes up her studies. So thank you, Danielle. And can you please introduce yourself and maybe start by telling us what attracted you to apply for an internship here at Cami?
Hi, I'm Danielle. I'm a fourth year engineering and commerce student, and I'm interning at Cami at the moment. So I first found out about Cami from a careers expo at the University of Auckland, and I decided to apply for a software engineering intern role from there because I'm very interested in technology for education. And I also thought that Cami was moving forward as a company and continuing to grow, which was a very exciting opportunity. So I was keen to get involved with Cami.
Yeah, that's great. And how did you find the application and the interview process? And do you have any tips for interns or graduates who are keen on working with Cami?
Yeah, so the application process was pretty straightforward, just sending through my CV through the Cami website. And from there, I was given a technical challenge that I completed in my own time. So I think I was given about a week or so to complete this. So my tips for this stage would be to just experiment with different solutions, take a look at it as soon as you have the chance so that you can continue to think about it. If something doesn't work the first time, keep trying and keep testing throughout. So from there, some of the applicants were chosen to move on to the next stage, which was an hour-long algorithm test, and that was over Zoom. So since we were in lockdown, it had to be over Zoom. And everyone had their camera on, but you didn't have to share your screen or anything. So you just had to solve an algorithm in the time provided. So tips for this section would just be to think through your process. If you can't come up with a solution, then just clearly detail what you want to do, and credit will be given for that. Then the final stage of the process was an interview. So this was also over Zoom because of lockdown. And this was with a few members of the team. And in this stage, just, be yourself and figure out which technologies you like working with and remember details about your past projects you've completed. And then after this, I was offered the intern role.
Great. And what do you think is the most valuable thing you've gained from your time at Cami so far?
It would definitely have to be the mentoring. So I received really good mentoring and help in developing my technical skills. I got to use a range of different technologies as well, so both front end and back end.
Right. And what do you think Cami offers interns and graduates that is unique compared to other employers?
Cami has a really good culture, so it's a really great place to work as you're developing your skills, and it's progressing all the time, continuing to grow, which is really cool. So there's always something new to work on. And you also have the opportunity as an intern to work on big projects, and these projects will be used by customers. For example, I got to make a Google image search picker tool that is actually used by the students, which is really cool.
Yeah, that's great. It's always nice when you see your work in the real world having a real impact.
Yeah.
And is there anything else you'd like to share with the potential interns and graduates here?
You will be really well supported as a Cami intern by mentors and everyone in the tech team as well. And you'll be able to develop your skill set with the technologies you're using. Also, Cami has a very good social culture, some really cool events like a Christmas party, which was on a private beach this year. So that was really fun with a lot of food trucks. And the office is really cool if you do get to work in person. I was working on Zoom, which was, it was good as well.
All right, thank you very much, Danielle. Really appreciate you spending some time with us here today. All right, do we have any questions to answer, Grant?
Yes, we've got one quick one in the chat, and then we'll roll over to the next employer. So, are there any opportunities for cybersecurity students and graduates at Cami?
Absolutely, yeah. If that's a space that you're interested in, Cami is a fantastic place to try and build your skills in that area. We have a lot going on in terms of cloud security. We take that very seriously because we're dealing with a lot of people's personal information and information on their documents that needs to remain private. So there's a lot of security and work in that area that goes on at Cami. So yes.